Good morning, students. So, last class we have given the introduction for magnetism and matter. Let me continue that one. When you come across the magnet, now this is the bar magnet, north pole and this is south pole. Now, these are the two poles where the magnetic field is maximum. The force of attraction is maximum at the ends, that is at the poles, and minimum at the center in the case of what? Bar magnet we have studied earlier. So, each pole has got its own strength and that strength is called pole strength. That pole strength is represented by M. The two poles are having same pole strength, but opposite in nature. Every pole has got its own strength. That pole strength is represented by small m. Right? So, there is a separation distance between the two poles of the magnet. That length is called 2L, magnetic length. Now, this is the center O. It means that every magnet has got its own pole strength. The two pole strength are equal in magnitude, but opposite in nature, small m, and the separation distance between the two poles is 2L, that is called magnetic length. So, the north and south pole are not exactly at the ends of the magnet, they are somewhat inside. The length of the separation distance between north and south, that is called magnetic length, and exactly the length between the two ends of the magnet, this is called geometric length. Geometric length. This is magnetic length and this is geometric length. Then what is that magnetic length? The magnetic length is equals to 5 by 6 times the geometric length L. Now, this geometric length is capital L. The magnetic length, the distance between the two poles of the magnet which are inside the magnet, not exactly at the edge. The magnetic length between the two poles of the magnet north and south is 5 by 6 times the geometric length. It means that geometric length is greater than magnetic length, which indicates the two poles of the magnets are not exactly at the end of the magnet, they are somewhat inside. What is that length between the two magnetic poles? 5 by 6 times the geometric length. Right? Then I come across, there are the two axes, one is axial line, another one is equatorial line, just like the charge concept. The line passing through the north and south of a bar magnet, now this is called magnetic axis, axial line. Now, this is magnetic axis, the line joining the north and south pole of a bar magnet is called magnetic axis. The line passing through the north and south through the magnetic axis, that is called axial line. The line perpendicular to the magnetic axis and passing through the center of a magnet, now this is called equatorial line. This is called equatorial line. One is axial line, another one is equatorial line. Are you getting the point? Then after this, I come across the representation of the magnetic field. Which kind of the magnetic field? Uniform magnetic field. Representation of uniform magnetic field. Magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. Now, these are the three representations. Now, these are the magnetic lines of forces which are parallel, equispaced and in the same direction. This represents uniform magnetic field in the plane of the paper. and they are equispaced and same direction. The magnetic lines of forces are equispaced, parallel and in the same direction represents uniform magnetic field in the plane of the paper. If I go for dot, now this is also uniform magnetic field, but perpendicular to the plane of the paper. This is also uniform magnetic field, it is also uniform magnetic field, both are perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Then what is the differentiation? They are into the plane of the paper or out of the plane of the paper. They are perpendicular to the plane of the paper, directing outwards or inwards. Now, this dot indicates what? North pole. North pole nothing but what? Directed outwards. Now, this is uniform magnetic field where the field is perpendicular to the plane of the paper and directing outwards. Now, this is also representation of the uniform magnetic field and it is perpendicular to the plane of the paper and it is directed inwards, south, directed inwards, directed outwards into the plane of the paper. All the three represent what? Uniform magnetic field. Wherever you come across this one, this indicates what? Uniform magnetic field that is perpendicular to the plane of the paper and directed outwards. This is also uniform magnetic field, perpendicular to the plane of the paper, directed inwards. Are you getting the point? Yes. Then if I come across the properties of magnetic lines of forces, just like the electric lines of forces we have studied in the electrostatics, I come across properties of electric lines of forces. Properties of magnetic lines of forces. I come across here properties of magnetic lines of forces. Magnetic lines of forces. Electric lines of forces, magnetic lines of forces are purely geometrical representation. They do not have the physical existence. The detailed study of the electric and magnetic lines of forces is done by whom? Michael Faraday. The magnetic lines of forces is also represents, that is nothing but, it is not the real one, they represent the geometrical representation, they are the purely curves. If I draw the tangent at any point to the curve, that gives the direction of the magnetic field. These are the curve lines, purely imaginary lines. If I draw the tangent to any point in that curve, that gives the direction of the magnetic field. There is the existence of the magnetic field, that is the real one, but it is represented by what? A set of magnetic lines of forces. The magnetic lines of forces crossing per unit area gives what? The magnetic field, that is crossing per unit area normally through the surface gives the magnetic field. These are purely imaginary lines. If I draw the tangent to the line at any point, gives the direction of the magnetic field. The magnetic lines of forces are originated from north and terminates on south. The magnetic lines of forces are originated from north and terminates on south, and they forms the closed loop. They forms the closed loop. Whatever may be the closeness of the magnetic lines of forces, the magnetic lines of forces never intersect each other. The magnetic lines of forces never intersect each other. If I take the two magnetic lines of forces, if suppose they are intersect each other, at the point of intersection, if I draw the tangent, this gives the direction of the magnetic field. The single point, there will be no existence of the two directions. Hence, the magnetic lines of forces never intersect each other. The magnetic lines of forces are crowded at the ends. That indicates that the strength is maximum at the end, minimum at the center. The magnetic lines of forces are crowded at the poles. That gives what? The strength is maximum at the poles. There is a maximum force of attraction at the ends of the magnet. Are you getting the point? Next one, if I take the magnetic lines of forces, if the magnetic lines of forces are, now this is nothing but north pole and this is nothing but south pole, the originated from north and terminates on south. The magnetic lines of forces are contrast along the lengthwise gives what? Force of attraction. If I take north and south, north, the magnetic lines of forces are diverge. They are shifting sidewards. That indicates what? There is a lateral pressure is exerted by the magnetic lines of forces. That indicates what? There is a force of repulsion. Like poles repels, unlike poles attract. Contracting along lengthwise, unlike poles attracts, that is nothing but exerting the lateral pressure on each other, the magnetic lines of force. That indicates what? Like poles repels. Now, these are the simple properties of what? Magnetic lines of forces. Magnetic lines of forces forms a closed loop and its direction outside the magnet is from north to south, but inside the magnet is from south to north. Magnetic lines of forces always forms a closed loop. You remember this. Then, I come across the next one, magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment, that is represented by capital M. The current carrying loop acts as a magnetic dipole. The bar magnet is also having the magnetic dipole moment. Then what is that magnetic dipole moment? Now, this is the bar magnet. South, north. The separation distance between the two poles, that is 2L, center O, each having the pole strength M. The magnetic dipole moment of a bar magnet is defined as the product of the product of either pole strength and separation distance between the two poles. It is the product of either pole strength and separation distance between the two poles of the magnet, that is nothing but 2L magnetic length. So, capital M equals to M into 2L. Now, this capital M is nothing but magnetic dipole moment and it is a vector quantity and it is directed from south to north. It is always directed from south to north. It is a vector quantity directed from south to north. Now, this is nothing but magnetic dipole moment, right. Then what is its SI unit? When you come across the torque tau, mb sin theta, m equals to tau by b sin theta, torque tau Newton meter, b Tesla. Torque is nothing but Newton meter. So, B is nothing but Tesla, Newton meter per Tesla. So, Newton meter is also nothing but work equals force into displacement, joule, joule per Tesla, joule per Tesla. This Newton meter is taken as a joule and per Tesla, its SI unit is joule per Tesla. Otherwise, Newton meter per Tesla, right. Its SI unit is joule per Tesla, right. If you go for the current loop, its SI unit is ampere meter square. The magnetic dipole moment is also given by ampere meter square or joule per Tesla. Is it clear? Yes. Then after this, I come across Coulomb's law in magnetism. Coulomb's law in magnetism. Coulomb's law in magnetism. In electrostatics, Coulomb's law deals with two static charges with separation distance. There is a force of attraction or force of repulsion. Now, this Coulomb's law in magnetism deals with two magnetic poles and their pole strength, separation distance between them, and there is a force of attraction or force of repulsion. The charges are replaced here, pole strength. If I take the magnet, this is north pole and this is south pole. I take the two magnet, each magnet has got its own pole strength. Now, pole strength for the first magnet M1, there is existence of the south, डाल देंगे. Always magnet exists in the form of what? Pair of poles, pole strength M1. So, south, north, center, right. Separation distance I take D, and there is a pole strength M2, pole strength M2, there is a force of attraction. So, what is that statement? Coulomb's law in magnetism states that the force of attraction or repulsion between the two pole pieces of the magnet, the force of attraction or repulsion between the two pole pieces of the magnet with their pole strength, product of their pole strength, and inversely proportional to square of the separation distance between them. If I take from the center D, square of the separation distance. If you take the separation distance between north and south, then also you can consider as a D. The force of attraction or repulsion is directly proportional to product of their pole strength and inversely proportional to square of the separation distance between them. Then, so if I consider this as a D, separation distance between the two poles, that is nothing but I can take D also. If you consider from the center, then it is okay. Otherwise, the separation distance between the two poles, that is nothing but if I take D, that is directly proportional to M1 M2 and inversely proportional to square of the separation distance between the two poles. If I solve this one, the proportional constant K M1 M2 divided by D square, that K is nothing but here depends on nature of the medium where the magnetic poles are placed. So, the proportional constant K equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi M1 M2 divided by D square. Now, this is nothing but your Coulomb's law in magnetism. F equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi M1 M2 divided by D square. Now, this is nothing but Coulomb's law in magnetism. In electrostatic, that is charge oriented. In magnetism, it is pole oriented, having the pole strength M1 M2, the product of the pole strength inversely proportional to square of the separation distance between them. The constant of proportionality mu naught divided by 4 pi, mu naught indicates what? Permeability of the free space, right. Now, this is about what? The Coulomb's law in magnetism. देख लो एक बार. Then after this, I come across the main thing of the topic. I come across the mainstream of the topic, the bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid. Bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid. Shall I remove this one? Yes. Bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid. Bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid. Current carrying solenoid act as a bar magnet, that should be proved in the form of what? Equation. So, I consider a solenoid where n number of turns are going to be wounded on it. Now, this is the cylindrical base where a number of turns are wound on the solenoid. Now, this is the center of the solenoid. Length L, length L, total length is how much? 2L. It consists of a number of turns. Now, this is the axis of the solenoid. One face is acting as a south pole, another one is acting as a north pole. Now, this is the axis of the solenoid. Now, this is the point P where the magnetic field is to be calculated, which is at a distance. Now, this is the radius. I can take A as a radius and R is the distance of the point from the center of the solenoid, R. This is the distance. I cannot consider the whole solenoid at a time. It consists of a number of turns. I take the small portion of the solenoid. Now, this distance is x here. Then what about the small portion? Dx. The small portion is dx. Total length from the center is x. Then what about this? Dx. Shall I write? Dx. Then what is distance from this? I call this is y. Y equals to r minus x. Shall I write? If I consider this much of the portion, what is the distance from the point P? Y, that is r minus x. So, it consists of a number of turns. Then we know that small n equals to number of turns per unit length. So, number of turns capital N equals to n into dx. For this complete, capital N equals to number of turns per unit length, 2L. Shall I write here? If I take whole turns, capital N equals to number of turns per unit length, small n equals to number of turns per unit length, capital N equals to n into 2L. For this much a portion, total number of turns n equals to n into dx. Small n equals to number of turns per unit length. Unit length is nothing but dx, n into dx. Now, this is our figure. If you understood the figure properly, let me go for the derivation. My aim is to prove that bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid. I consider a solenoid which consists of a number of turns and length of the solenoid is 2L. Now, this is the center. From either end, one face is acting as a south, another one is acting as a north. Now, this is the axis of the solenoid. P is the point on the axis at a distance r from the center where the magnetic field is to be determined, where A is the radius. I cannot consider the whole solenoid at a time because it consists of a number of turns. I take the small portion dx, which having the number of turns capital N equal to small n into dx, and this is at a distance y from the point P, y equals to r minus x from the figure. Then I calculate the total magnetic field due to this solenoid. Now, this is the circle. Magnetic field at a point on the axis of a circular coil. We know that I use here, I पूरे अच्छी तरह से मैं फिगर को यूज कर लेता हूँ मैं जगह को. We know that magnetic field B on the axis of a circular coil mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n I r square divided by r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2. Then I can write according to my equation, n is nothing but number of turns, mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi number of turns, current, r is radius, shall I write radius square divided by r is radius square plus x is the distance, point P is at a distance x, in that case distance square to the power 3 by 2. This is my original equation. According to my figure, radius square divided by radius square plus distance square to the power 3 by 2. Why? So, I make it to be separate one according to my subject to the condition. Then what is the radius here? A. What is the distance here? Y. Right? So, I can write therefore, it can be written as magnetic field B equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi. I considering n for this much portion, n equals to n into dx into radius square a square. What is the radius? A divided by radius square plus distance square to the power 3 by 2. देख लो एक बार इक्वेशन पूरा, कुछ भी नहीं करे सो मैं. I have already done the equation. Magnetic field at a point on the axis of a circular coil. Now this is a circular coil. Now this is on the axis at a point P. P is at a distance what? Y. ये इक्वेशन को नीट मेरे को जो है ना उस तरह से लिखे सो है. Then shall I substitute y equals r minus x? So whenever we come across dx, now this is nothing but dB. So dB equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n into dx a square plus y equals to r minus x whole square to the power 3 by 2 as it is. देख लो एक बार. Comparing to this distance r, a is small, x is also small. Here r is far greater than a and r is far greater than x. Hence, we have, उसको नेगलेक्ट कर देते हैं. dB equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n dx a square. Denominator ये term है, addition and subtraction term. A is removed, x is removed. What is the things to be left? R square to the power 3 by 2 cancels. Shall I write? Mu naught divided by 4 pi, रन दे इधर ही, स्क्वायर r क्यूब रहता है. देख लो पूरे इक्वेशंस को एक बार, पूरा इक्वेशन ग्लांस करो. लेट मी कम अक्रॉस दैट. Then I need the whole coil. For whole coil, for whole solenoid, total magnetic field B equals to sum of small magnetic field from 0 to 2L. What is the length? From 0 to 2L. देख लो पूरे इक्वेशंस. Right? What is the length of the solenoid? 2L. Right? मेरे को जगह होना है. I use the space properly. इतना जगह यूज कर सकता हूँ मैं, इस जगह को यूज कर सकता हूँ मैं. ए पोर्शन को यूज कर लेता हूँ मैं, जगह नहीं है. Then I make it in the bracket. इधर यूज कर लेता हूँ मैं. Right? Then B equals to 0 to 2L. What are the factors? Mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n a square dx, separate लिख दूँ मैं, divided by r cube. सही है. पूरे कांस्टेंट फैक्टर्स बाहर ले लो. mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi a square n a square divided by r cube integration of dx 0 to 2l. Integration of dx equals to x. If you substitute the limit, then it becomes what? 2l. B equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi. What is a small n? Right? Small n a square into 2l divided by r square, r cube. Right? देख लो एक बार. सो बी अब नीट अरेंजमेंट कर तुम नॉट डिवाइडेड बाय 4 पाई 2 रखो पाई इंटू रेडियस स्क्वायर. शैल आई राइट n इंटू 2l बाय r cube. Right? n into 2l capital N. Last step. B equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 area pi r square, area of a circular loop, area n into 2l capital N. Right? n I, we have left I छोड़े सो यहाँ पे बगैर करंट से मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ही नहीं आते. राइट? I छोड़े सो I लिखो. राइट? I एरिया कैपिटल N I divided by r cube. NIA magnetic dipole moment mu naught divided by 4 pi 2m by r cube. This is our equation. Magnetic dipole moment m equals to I into A for n number of turns NIA magnetic dipole moment. पूरा एक बार देख लो इक्वेशन को. What this indicates? The magnetic field at a point on the axis of a solenoid that act as a bar magnet, where capital M equals to magnetic dipole moment 2m by r cube. Now, this is a magnetic field at a point on the axis of a solenoid. That solenoid act as a bar magnet 2m by r cube. एक बार पूरा ग्लांस करो. राइट? और एक बार आप लोगों को समझाता हूं मैं फिगर डाल के. थोड़ा फिगर बड़ा हो गया था, जगह कम पकड़े, मैक्सिमम फिगर को जगह गए, सो फिगर को नीट डाल के एक तरफ और एक बार समझाता हूं. देख लो. राइट? एक बार देख लो पूरे स्टेप्स को. और एक बार जाओ. यस. एक 2 मिनट में पूरे डेरिवेशन कर सकते हैं. एक बार अच्छी तरह से अंडरस्टैंड कर लिए ना. दिस इज द ओनली डेरिवेशन इन द टॉपिक. इजी डेरिवेशन है, आराम से कर सकते हैं आप. So our aim is to show that bar magnet has an equivalent solenoid. So I take the solenoid. It consists of a number of turns. Now this is a cylindrical base on which a number of turns are wound of length 2L. Now this is the center. So now this is axis of the solenoid. P is the point on the axis of the solenoid which is at a distance r, and A is the radius. I cannot consider the whole solenoid at a time. I take the small portion the small portion of the solenoid of length dx, total distance x. Now, this is the distance from the dx, y equals to r minus x, right. So, this gives n equals to n into dx, small n equals to number of turns per unit length. For this, n equals to n into 2L for whole turn, small n equals to number of turns per unit length, right. Then, now this is nothing but the circular coil, and this is at a point on the axis of a circular coil. By using relation, magnetic field on the axis of a current carrying loop B equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 ja pi near square divided by r square plus x square to the power 3 pi 2. It can be written as according to my figure concept, B equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n equals to n into dx. This is radius divided by radius square plus distance square to the power 3 by 2. Then I substitute. Then when I write dx, this becomes what? dB. So, therefore, dB equals to, shall I write here? dB equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n. Current we have left here once again, current 2 pi n dx I radius square a square divided by a square plus y square to the power 3 by 2, distance is y. Then substitute the values, mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n I a square into dx separate लेता हूँ मैं. So, a square, what is y? r minus x whole square to the power 3 by 2. Steps देखो. Here r is far greater than a and r is far greater than x. Hence, dB equals to, दोनों को नेगलेक्ट कर दो, 2 pi n I a square dx. So, a भी नेगलेक्ट करे, a भी नेगलेक्ट करे, r square to the power 3 by 2. Right? दोनों कैंसिल हो जाते हैं. Then, dB equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n I a square by r cube into dx. I need whole coil for whole solenoid. Then, for whole solenoid, B equals to integration of dB 0 to 2L. Length is how much? 0 to 2L. So, B equals to 0 to 2L. What is dB? Mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n I a square by r cube into dx. If I remove constant factor outside, 2 pi n I a square by r cube integration of dx 0 to 2L. By solving that integration of dx 0 to 2L, that is nothing but 2L. B equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi n I a square by r cube into 2L. Steps देखो अच्छी तरह से. अब इसको सिस्टमेटिकली अरेंजमेंट करता हूँ मैं. B mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 pi into a square n into 2l I by r cube. सही है. Then final equation. Pi a square is nothing but area, n into 2l is nothing but capital N. Then I can write इधर लिख सकता हूँ मैं फाइनल स्टेप b equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi to area capital N I by r cube. I into a magnetic dipole for n turns NIA, b equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2m by r cube. This is your equation. Bar magnet as a equivalent solenoid. Now this gives magnetic field at a point on the axis of a bar magnet at a distance r. Now this is nothing but magnetic field on the axial line, 2m by r cube. Now this proves that bar magnet has an equivalent solenoid. By using the solenoid concept, we come across what? Bar magnet, the magnetic dipole moment is capital M, and the magnetic field on the axis of a bar magnet, that is the axial line, 2m by r cube, mu naught divided by 4 pi constant. सिंपल है पूरा. यहाँ से पूरा एक बार दो बार करे सो है, कहीं पे भी आप लोगों को डाउट नहीं रहता. n into 12 is nothing but capital N, right? So इसके बाद we come across the complete derivation section से simple derivations है. ऑलरेडी पढ़े सो डेरिवेशन को अच्छी तरह से नीटली लिखे सो और कुछ नहीं करे सो है. देखने को बड़ा लगता है इक्वेशन, कुछ भी नहीं वहाँ पे. Is it clear? Okay. Shall I continue with the next class with next derivations? I hope that you have understood. Yes. Let me continue the next class. Thank you.